Welcome to Mid-Level Media, everyone, to the Blu-ray unboxing of the newest release, Parasite, brought to us by Neon and distributed by Universal. So right here you have pretty much the same cover that was on the poster. I really like this color. There's a lot of color schemes to it, a lot that's represented about the film, and just pretty much what the film's about. A lot of stuff that's displayed on this. Right here you have the certified fresh. That is actually on the slipcover. That is not a sticker. I saw some people that were a little bit concerned when I posted this on Instagram. They did not like that aspect of it. So if you are hoping that this is just a sticker, it is not. It is actually on the cover art of the slipcover. So that might turn some people off, but me and myself, I don't really mind it. Down here you have the Palme d'Or Festival de Cannes, showing that it is a winner of that, or that is where it debuted. Right here we have the Blu-ray plus the digital code, the title of the film, Parasite, and a quote from the New York Times: sensationally entertaining, Bong Joon-ho at his best. So let's look at the spine. You have Parasite on the spine. You have Neon, Universal, Blu-ray at the top. Let's look back here. You have some nice images from the film. You have the film synopsis up here at the top, and also another quote from Vulture, a nerve-wracking masterpiece. Down here you have the bonus features, the Q&A with director Bong Joon-ho. And I actually got a chance to watch this Q&A, and it's really interesting, really decent. It's only about 20 minutes, so it's the only bonus feature really on this Blu-ray, which is kind of disappointing. But it is an interesting Q&A from the, I think, Fantastic Fest that he was at. A really interesting question came up that I liked a lot, where he was kind of explaining how not only are the poor family the parasites, but also the rich could be considered parasites as well. And the way he kind of breaks that down and explains it is very interesting. So I definitely recommend that Q&A with director Bong Joon-ho. So let's go ahead and take that out of the slipcover. Right here we have the exact same image on the Blu-ray. Flip it over, same images on the back with the synopsis up here in the corner, just a little bit different layout to make room for that casting list at the bottom. Neon, rated R, distributed by Universal Pictures. So let's go ahead and open this up. I've already flipped over the digital code. Take that out. Right here we just have the plain Blu-ray disc, so nothing special about this. Plain white cover, so just an ordinary Blu-ray. Guys, nothing special about this release at all, other than the film itself, which I will now be jumping to a review of, so stand by. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different here. I'm going to include this, my official review of the film, Parasite, which I just unboxed. I'm going to include that in the Blu-ray unboxing video. Now, if you just came here for the Blu-ray unboxing, that's out of the way. That's done with. You can move on. Now, if you want to see my official thoughts on the film itself, you can stick around for this little kind of conversation review. And I saw this movie a month ago. I saw it 2 days before New Year's Eve, and I really loved the film. But, you know, I did my review on Instagram, which is kind of my main platform for reviews. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the review in the description of this video below. But to kind of see my kind of in-person thoughts on this film, I watched it again tonight. I actually watched it with my wife, who had not seen it because I saw the movie by myself, which is how I see a lot of movies in theaters, to be honest. So we watched this movie again tonight, and I was just very taken with it again. And it's... a lot of people are really high on this movie. This is their favorite of the year. This is one of the best of the decades. I am not prepared as of right now to call it one of the best of the decades, like some people are. I think it's a great film, do not get me wrong, and I don't fault anyone at all for putting this movie at the top of their decade list, at the top of their year. It is a fantastic movie. That I have a few issues with it here and there, but just from top to bottom, just the way Bong Joon-ho directs this film is fantastic. The performances are fantastic, and it's I'm not going to say it's hard for me to get into movies with subtitles. I'll watch almost all my movies with subtitles on anyway, English, foreign or not. So that doesn't really matter to me. But I was just so invested in all these characters and performances in a way that I'm not always as invested when I'm watching foreign films. Sometimes it's hard to convey those performances through the language barrier, and this movie does an excellent job of doing that. And I don't know if it's the direction, if it's just these actors being that good, but I was involved and invested in everything these people did in this movie, and it's just such an interesting story on class. Just some of the things that the people do in this movie to get to where they need to kind of better themselves is very interesting. And the first half of this movie is kind of played a little comedically, kind of using that aspect of the story kind of for comedic purpose. You have this poor family and this rich family, and this poor family is trying to get in with this rich family and get hired in all these different positions within the household. And it leads to some comedic and semi-dramatic moments during that transition, and it's very interesting to watch kind of unfold through that first hour. And then things happen, and it just takes a sharp left turn, and it goes into more of kind of like a thriller, suspense mystery kind of movie, and it ends with like straight up horror and just goes batshit crazy by the last 30 minutes. But it balances all those tones really well, and while it's shifting genres, you're never jarred out of the experience. It always makes sense within the story that it's trying to tell, and that's what I think that the film excels at so greatly, is just transitioning through these genres and not really changing anything within the story or the characters involved. It all feels very natural to the characters. It all feels very poignant to what's going on within the story and just surrounding them. So I do love this movie. I love it a lot. I think that I don't even want to say it's overhyped, because I gave it like a 9.75 when I reviewed it. It's not a perfect 10 to me, and my issues with it lie kind of in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. Although when I watched it tonight, I noticed something at the very end that I did not notice when I was in the theater, and it kind of made it slightly better for me. But there's some things that happened towards the end that I wasn't fully on board for. And there's a lot of heavy-handed gestures as far as like class warfare and just how the rich perceive the poor and vice versa. And some of the things were a little heavy-handed for me as far as how they convey that within the film. But beyond that, guys, like, this movie is just top tier, excellent. I definitely recommend getting it on Blu-ray. Like, the Blu-ray quality of this movie was excellent. Like, it looked better than it did when I saw it in theaters. It's just an incredible movie, guys. It's an incredible experience, and just like the director said, if you can get past the 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you will really enjoy this movie. And even my wife, before we sat down to watch it, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know it had subtitles," and she didn't want to watch it, but she got into it as it went on. And it's something that I think that if you want to experience other stories in other languages, you have to push past, and it's not really that hard. You just have to read a little line of dialogue at the bottom, and this movie does it so well. Just everything about this movie is executed on the highest level. So as far as a grade, what I would give this movie, like I said on my Instagram page, I gave it a 9.75 out of 10. On my YouTube channel, I'm going to go with kind of a different rating system. So for this one, I would give it not quite masterpiece, but it's a high level for this movie. It's excellent. Check it out. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel for more future videos of unboxings and reviews, and we'll see you next time.